Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate this hearing. Mr. Mastriano, I look at your nomination and I have a real sense of sadness about it. And I'm going to tell you why. Your military record of service to the country and your sacrifice is really superb. And you went into that in your own statement. And I find so much to admire there. Your own sacrifice and your family's sacrifice. And then in the middle of your comments, you kind of hinted, but then I got into politics. I had been respected in the military, but then I got into politics and people called me everything but a good man. I think you need to look in the mirror a little bit. My colleague, both my colleagues have pointed out evidences of things that you've said and people you've associated with that are highly, highly unusual. You've associated with anti-Semites and Holocaust deniers. You've associated with 9/11 conspiracy theorists. You've made comments about foreign leaders that are not diplomatic in quality. And you and I share a very special day in American history. We were both here on January 6, 2021. You engaged in repeated efforts before that day and since to challenge the integrity of the presidential election. And there's even some controversy about what exactly you were doing here on the Capitol that day. But there isn't any controversy about why you were here. You were here because you were urging Congress to reject the certification of the electoral results and to interrupt the peaceful transfer of power. And all of us who were here that day remember what it was like to be under attack with people who were trying to disrupt the peaceful transfer of power. I never served in the military, but I lived in a military dictatorship in Honduras when I was a missionary. And I know what dictators do, and I know what it is to undermine democratic institutions. And to my knowledge, now you can correct me if I'm wrong, to my knowledge, you've never retracted your belief that that election was somehow illegitimate. I was on the floor later in the day after the rioters were finally cleared, and I watched both of your state senators at the time, Senator Casey and Senator Toomey, when a non-Pennsylvanian challenged the Pennsylvania results. I believe it was a senator from Missouri. I watched both of your state senators absolutely shred the argument that there was anything wrong about the Pennsylvania election results. That they were insulted that a Missouri senator would challenge the integrity of the Pennsylvania elections. And they shredded that argument, just like courts have repeatedly shredded the argument. Am I wrong? Have you retracted the various conspiracies that you apparently have been laboring under with respect to the 2020 election?
I mean, Senator, what do you want me to address specifically? I've never been involved in conspiracies. The one thing I did before January 6th was be part of a hearing in Gettysburg, exercising our oversight per the U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 4.
But you were here on January 6th to urge Congress to
reject
it.
That is incorrect. That is incorrect. I was here to hear the president. I was here with my wife to hear the president of the United States speak. We didn't do anything illegal. We came, we saw, we left.
Okay, I think the record is going to demonstrate to the contrary.
No, sir, it does not.
But how about today? Will you accept the 2020 presidential
Joe Biden was certified.
Okay, no, I'm not saying certified.
The question is closed.
Was Joe Biden elected the president of the United States
I have not been
by both
I have not been a target or a subject of any criminal investigation related to this.
I'm not asking you about your criminal record.
Okay.
Just answer this question. Was Joe Biden elected president in 2020 by both the popular vote and the Electoral College?
Joe Biden was certified per the constitutional process. And I was not here to disrupt anything, Senator.
Well, I'm not asking you about that.
I came to hear our president speak.
Listen, here is the point.
Yes, sir.
I've never known a conspiracy theorist who just believed one conspiracy. Conspiracy theorists generally are gullible people. They might have master's degrees and PhDs, and you've got them. And the United States is invested in you to have those degrees. But somebody who will believe a conspiracy theory about 9/11 or the Holocaust or about the January 2020 election They're gullible.
I don't subscribe to any of those conspiracies about 9/11 or the Holocaust.
You preach conspiracies about the 2020 election.
No,
Guess
sir.
what? That a fourth grader with common
That's
sense
inaccurate,
would
Senator.
find ridiculous.
All they did is hold a hearing per my constitutional responsibility as
you
a
did-
committee chair in Pennsylvania, per Article
All
1,
I did
Section
was
4.
hold a hearing. Oh, but forget that I came to the Capitol on January 6th
To hear
as
our
it was
president speak.
under attack and urged people to reject a peaceful transfer
I gave
of
those
power.
speeches. I came to hear the president
You
speak.
can't erase your record now, Mr.
No, sir. There's no erasing it.
Let me ask one last question.
Facts are stubborn things.
Mr. Perez. Mr. Perez, do we have a trade surplus or a trade deficit?